Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. On tonight's session, I'll be covering the level pack Base in 21XX by Jenny. This is essentially a remake of Mega Man X1, but with Base's gameplay, based on the idea, what if he survived in the X era? So purple keys are armor parts, E-tanks are heart tanks, double jump upgrades, legs part, armor order, etc, etc. No Hadouken, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Welcome to stream, Tedley and Jaden. You could have done a review of a Gunvolt in the morning as well. If they really start to trash talk them, tell them to pound dirt. Like, if it's that much of a concern, tell them to tone it down. Like, if we have people trash talking each other for just giving their honest thoughts or how much they enjoy the game or not, then they need to be warned or removed from the community. Alright, anyways. Hey Space 2. Okay. They didn't really provide this in a easy to navigate ID system, so let's try it this way. Why is this not... Okay, it says... Why doesn't it not exist? Okay, I'm gonna try something else. Okay. Hi J Butters, welcome. Okay, we'll use this. They probably just switched it around a bit. I was typing it. Okay. That aside, let's begin with the intro stage. 66 plays and a score of 18. Must have been mistyping one last thing. I saw the whole discussion you had with Sylv and Buster popping up on the main channel. I don't usually engage about who will win or power scaling, but I understand why people do it. It's fun. Of course, at a certain point, it just gets silly. So this is the Ruined Street. If all goes well, I'll be able to beat the entirety of this pack tonight. Oh, such a downgrade from the B-Blader. Okay, that's different. We're going underground this time. Okay, you like the moveset of both Gunvolt and Copen. Always fun to dispatch enemies with chain, lightning, and tag gun. More so in 2 than 1. What is the current level pack queue? There's an informal one which I don't really have online. Let me finish this stage and I'll bring it up. Is this the equivalent to the Jammingers? Brains? Oh yeah. Replicate the vehicles! I'm dead. Yeah, that scaffolding is kind of annoying. I couldn't tell what was going on there. Should have waited. Yeah, the very fact we have these obstructions in the background, in the foreground, does make this a little bit harder. Ugh. It didn't allow me to jump there. Oops. Yeah, that was just me rushing. Okay. Yeah, one of the things I always talk about at base is I really wish I had the double jump more than the dashing. Because, at least in Maker, the thing that usually kills me more isn't so much dashing, it's double jumping. Hey, Lunar. Like, this is already much harder than the original Ruined Street stage, if only because of the background and enemy choices. And the fact that base can't actually engage with these as easily. No charge shot, what have you. Okay. We made it through this section, oh my goodness. First time was my fault, the second time, I don't know why the game didn't allow me to jump up after getting hit by that. And third time also for rushing. Let me out. I just want to fight Vile. It's easier. Hey, Sylph. Hey, Chris. Oh, I heard in the morning that from Power Simplified that you may be quitting Maker or Mega Man later this year. Is that true? Okay, the harder version of Ruined Street has been completed. Yeah, it is interesting. Some of these discussions can be interesting, but it's more when you're talking about developing a character in the setting. Alright. Now, let's choose the Maverick, or rather, I'll choose it. I mean, it's obvious I want to do the armor part order ASAP, so blame Mammoth first. Yes. There are the armor parts. Let's go. I played and beat 9 and 10 as well as the Zero games. Haven't done ZX, but I've seen a full playthrough of ZX from Clement J. Gunvolt 1, I've seen a playthrough of it. Its self-design, I'd say, is a step down in comparison with Zero's. Gunvolt 2, I've heard, fixes a lot of the issues. Well, I'll go more to that when I actually play those games, because I will be playing Gunvolt in the future, no matter what people say, or no matter what certain people say. At a certain point, to get around, and I totally understand the feeling having a shallow reference pool. You can ask me for certain you can ask me, for example, about racing games or visual novels, and I'll be able to point out a few things. Nice. Yes, double jump's mine. Best upgrade. I guess I see we're taking this from Maverick Hunter X. And the main way to resolve a shallow reference pool is to either play more games or watch people play more games. Either will do. Sandwich maker. Do I have to go higher? Man, imagine a Maker you could actually set... Imagine a Maker if you could set the max HP values of your character. Then you could directly have stuff like heart tanks. Oh. Okay, guess that isn't it. Well, yeah, it's down there. Theoretically, I should go back for it, but yeah. I know that, Jaden, but it's a nice thing to refer to others watching. Like there are more than a few genres I need to expand my reference pools on. For example, boomer shooters or retro FPSs, precision platformers, RPGs, especially J, C, and W RPGs. Or action RPGs. When I say action RPGs, I'm referring to two different genres with different implications. One of which is the action RPGs, where it's an RPG with action-based combat. Versus, for example, the Diablo or Path of Exile-like titles. Oh my goodness, whoa. I can't wait to get at least one special weapon. Literally any weapon. Souls-likes are in a bit different category. I don't know if Jay Butters actually has enough genre experience with action RPGs, because most of the time they're talking about stuff like Kingdom Hearts. When I'm referring to action RPGs, I'm referring to a wider breadth of categories. Like, I'm also including stuff like the Tales of series, or the Ys games. Souls-likes, I'm slowly getting more into, but hack and slash is that's gonna be an interesting thing because we'll see. I mean, I'm going into these titles when I'm going into a genre I have less experience with, or with a title I have little to no knowledge about. I'll try enjoying or perusing through the title. I'll try perusing or enjoying the title on my own terms. Give it the benefit of the doubt. And hey, sometimes getting alienated is part of the experience. And sometimes taking a risk is necessary to find something you really enjoy. Like before I was pressed to do Danganronpa 1 and then later 2, I thought I would never play, or rather, play/read through a visual novel on the channel, outside of maybe Ace Attorney. But lo and behold, I quite enjoyed that. Like, for all intents and purposes, Ys is an action RPG. Especially once we exit the bump combat era. I mean, Falcom's history is pretty interesting to look at, considering they deliberately or accidentally made one of the first Metroidvanias. The South Park Stick of Truth? Yep. They're turn-based RPGs. Bayonetta, the DMC and Bayonetta games fall under the character action titles, which are like an offshoot or subset of hack and slash titles. Yeah, and Kingdom Hearts is... I would say you can it stands against the Titans in the character action games, but it explores its mechanics in a different way, which is what makes it really interesting. 2 especially. The whole subject of what is called a quote-unquote real game, I don't usually care that much. Like, if we're going to definitions of what I consider to be a video game, let's just say I have a fairly broad categorization. Anyways, that was Flame Mammoth downed. Let's go after Chill Penguin next. 76, 28. One's level design, I'd say... GV1's level design, I'd say, was worse than 0, 3, and 4's. No fixed a lot of the issues, from what I've heard. Alright. Force feeding me games. That's part of why we have the recommendations. Again, I try to go into games with an open mind. I try to reduce the number of preconceived notions if possible. After all, if I'm going into a game thinking that I'm not gonna like it, or going into a game trying to hate it, I'm at the point in my life where if there's a game I know I'm not gonna like, or someone suggests that, or there's a pressure to me to go into a game and just dislike it, I'm not gonna play the game. There are several hundred games on my to-play list that I'm looking forward to covering that, if there's a game that I know I'm gonna dislike, I'm simply not gonna play it. There are way more enjoyable experiences in the world out there than not enjoyable for me, I'd say. Besides, this is not a rage-focused channel anyways. Ooh. Armor part. That's 2. Don't get me wrong, many of the games I play do have their issues, but I just try to focus more on the positives than negatives. That being said, I do sometimes be too nice, especially in regards to paid titles. Jaden can back me up on that, how I get a bit too nice with certain design decisions. Yeah. I remember one of the game suggestions I did a few years back. Yeah, that didn't turn out that well. Alright, this is up. Ouch. Let me in. Ow. Heart tank. At a certain point, Jaden, if someone continuously plays at that low skill level or that low level of proficiency, I just assume they're bad. At a certain point, it gets harder and harder to fake being bad. Unless they become very, very good at the game, in which case you can loop around. Excuse me, Jaden? I never covered that game. It never even made it past the voting phase. What are you talking about? The game in question where I got kind of I raged more than a few times was... Let me see, actually. It was a Sega CD game. Let me see, Wolfchild. Yeah, Wolfchild was a game that was recommended or was voted on as one of the it was a guaranteed game request game, and to put it bluntly, it was not well designed. But yeah, when I said a game that was a guaranteed game request, the game you mentioned, just mentioned, Jaden, that never made it past the vote. That never even made it past to being part of the candidates. Sorry. Like, no, I'll cover many games on our channel, but really NSFW games of the sexual kind, I am not going to do on this channel. Sorry, it's against the YouTube TOS, despite what certain channels try doing. Alrighty then. 2 Mavericks down, 6 left to go. I want to do Storm Eagle later, so... Boomer Kwanger. Oh yeah, the boss fights are easily some of the most memorable parts of the Gunvolt games. I have a mixed approach, Jay Butters. There's a small set of experiences I stick by very strongly. And then there's a whole bunch... Like, I have a small set of experiences I stick very firmly with. But in addition to that... Oh gosh. But in addition to that, I keep my mind open for other titles to cover, or other titles to check out. Like, I have a guaranteed set of small experiences I'll enjoy and come back to, but I also allocate quite a bit of time to checking out new things. It's how I found out some very cool stuff. Like, for example, Luca and Dead of a Wish. Heck, this is how I also found out about Sage and Steam X Fest. Also, I found out some... Also, how I got to learn and make some really cool friends. I would have never met Joe and the gang if I wasn't curious about other titles, especially in the indie and amateur spheres. Will I play Luke on the channel later? In the future? Maybe. But that's still up to question because, compared to Dead of a Wish, Luca's rough in many spots. Elevator! Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to run a poll by December about what unfinished game to stream in the last part of the year, as there are a bunch of titles which have been moved to hiatus due to various reasons. Like, I do actually want to get back to Cook Serve Forever and finish that game. I only have about 3 or 4 more stages left. Wow, go me. And because base can dash, that doesn't extend as far. Wow. Okay. I'll assume I can backtrack here and grab everything, but if I have the weapons, we can assume I did, so I'll just grab them just before I enter the fortress. Jaden, it's not a gauntlet, it's just a minor voting thing. Because I'm saying that because there are several games that have been left in an incomplete state and have been moved to hiatus because of various events that happened. So for December, I'm gonna leave a vote up to you to choose which one to finish off in December. Or finish more in the case of Hollow Knight. Excuse me. We got an insane motorcyclist. Oh my goodness, I forgot he could throw it that high. I'm not winning this, let's do this again. Not getting too caught up with every hit release. Thing is, J Butters, there's just too many releases on a daily basis that I can't even keep up with them. Unless you make it your job to actually keep up with them, but even then it's difficult. At the same time, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Keep an eye... honestly, Nitro Man's harder than Quanger. Especially in a closed arena like this. What? I thought you were gonna... yeah, I'm just gonna use Z-Tank, sorry. Bye. Okay, the stage itself was easier, but the boss fight was harder. It's like the opposite. It's kind of like the opposite of the intro stage, to be honest. Hang on a moment, I'm almost ready. So, of the games that'll be on the vote for the 4th of December, they'll likely be Cook Serve Forever, Hollow Knight, Kaborg, Machina, Path of the Midnight Sun, Reality Break, Spell Powder Uprising, and Starvaders. Snowbro's Wonderland will be shelved because we need to have more time for everyone. There is also technically Cybercorp, but that's a little bit special. So yeah. Spell Powder is basically a Fire Emblem-esque tactics game. Starvaders is Space Invaders meets a roguelike deck builder. Machina is a mining adventure game. So yeah, I need to put that to vote. Oh, let's put it to a vote, then Jaden. See what happens. Besides, I can theoretically pick 2 options too. And the fact you voted Cook Serve Forever initially, like right now, so we'll see. Alright, next up, Spark Mandrill. Like, of those 3 games you mentioned that you didn't remember, I like Starvaders and Spell Powder. And we might as well at least take a look to see where everything places. Like, even if Hollow Knight wins, I still may have time for a second slot. I don't know if I'll include game jams though. They're a little bit in the... I don't know if we can vote for I don't know if I'll include game jam, voting for entire game jams. That is a little bit of a bridge too far right now, especially with everything on the queue. After Image though, that's still up for it. I'll put the poll up in late November though. Turn back on the lights. I know, I also missed the tank at the beginning. Oops. Okay, what's the mid-boss gonna be replaced with? Okay. Right. Yes! No! Oh cool, you decided to not even give me any pickups. Gee, thanks RNG. Oh, I wish I had it. Honestly, I really wish I had a charge shot instead of the base buster. Hi, Swalty. Thanks for joining. No, okay. Let's get off. Would you rather have a power-scaling son or a shipping daughter? Of course the latter. Or a shipping child regardless, because I'm a shipper. Like, I've made it, I've not even tried hiding this fact. Okay, game. Where's my life pickup? Seriously, where are the life pickups? Did Mandrill just steal all of it? Oh. Okay. Goodbye. See Salty now on YouTube. Warframe son or Destiny 2 daughter? Warframe, of course. I have fond memories of playing that game. The reason why I stopped was due to real life getting too busy, but I'd happily come back to the game. Although I would have to read several guides to explain what happened since the 7 years I stopped playing the game, what happened in terms of the narrative and gameplay, or new gameplay additions, because oh my goodness, Warframe has been infamous for its onboarding. Cool script. Then vote for Symphony of Night first then. And I would try my best to take care of both of them. Let's see, sure, let's do Launch Octopus. Any other questions, Sylv or Salty? I am gonna play Berserk Boy as well because I do own it, but I'm curious to see in what ways it falters or succeeds. I don't really talk that much about shipping here because no one's really interested. I know some people are interested in terms of jokes, but really for actual elucidative conversations, they aren't really here. Which makes sense, as most of the games I play on the channel are really gameplay focused. And when I say gameplay focused, I mean to the point where the story doesn't really matter that much. I'm slowly trying to change it over time. I understand that, Jaden, and it's an important point to look at, take multiple perspectives at the same time. I mean, talking about Spam 10 is actually interesting to talk about because of the whole running team of Chapter 3 being divorced. Like, sheesh. The Dreamer family's divorce was so traumatizing that even the TV got traumatized. What happened? It was that tumultuous. I get what this is based off of, but it's kind of funny seeing what it's been translated into. The family's fighting again. Like, think about it. In Chapter 3, in terms of divorce and being a major team, let's see, we have the Dreamer family divorce. What happening with Spam Tenna? Well, everything with La Nino and El Nina. Wait a moment. Haha, submarine. Like, it's a common running team. Down we go. Wow, going for self ships. Well, I found the method to make this boss into a joke. Even more of a joke this time. Ah! How am I still alive? I'm out of here. Actually, no, I need to go down there. Oops. Hang on. We'll pretend I didn't use it. Whoops. Thank you for sort of cooperating. Knee for knee. I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to criticize this because you need to have the special weapons for that. And this could have been the first stage you went through, so not really a problem. It's not really relevant to check that cheese. Uh-oh. Will I win this? Probably not. Bubble, hello? What are you doing? Because this is a remake of Mega Man X, I'm gonna just review the levels in a chunk altogether. Think Chameleon. Oh, how I await the triple blade. Let's go. I apologize for all the frame drops tonight. Internet's weird. It's acting up. Okay. Speaking of stuff that's, interesting. I didn't expect that sort of interaction. Do I need a different explosive weapon, or am I missing something? No. Just the explosion. Ow. I got chopped. Really happy I can use the flamethrower again. Now let's grab the power-up. Be gone. Power-up tree obtained. Ow. What happened to the moles? Oh no. Is it real? Yes. I thought it was gonna be a fake one. Ah. Don't use fire here. It's to replicate the mud. Sadly, there's no power armors. Or ride armors. Like, if I activate fire, it's gonna turn out very explosively. Do not harm the Vuis. Yeah, I like your review, Jaden. Thank you for posting it. And this is the same year I played Hollow Knight Spark 1, so... Goodbye. This is the most enemy dense this is the most enemy dense stage so far with these last two sections. I know your weakness. Yeah, of course. Even better because no waiting period. Okay, let's see, what's next? I think we already defeated 6 of the Mavericks. Launch, Chill, Flame, Boomer, Sting. 5, okay. Oh, and the man. No, 6, yeah. 2 left then. Oh, usually I go to Storm Eagle here first, but this time we'll do it last. There's no Hadouken to collect anyways, so why bother? Any other reviews I want to talk about? Reminder, tomorrow morning I'm going to be sampling the demo of Mega Man DOS Remake. It's actually a remake made by a different person than the last remake I've shown. Pretty cool. I got my power up. Let's go! Oh my goodness, bounce. Danger. Am I stuck here? Yeah, oops. Minor soft lock. Yep, wasn't that an official thing as well? Mega Man X in Minecraft? There really should be a checkpoint once you exit the stage select screen. There's no need to repeat that. And if you make a mistake, just force the player to reset the stage. That'll work too. Alright, this time let it go true. I'm sorry, I'm running low on things to say other than this is a decent remake of Mega Man X using the limited tools and assets available in Maker. I'm having fun, but I'm running low on things to say because a lot of things to say also apply to the OG levels too. And some of the recreations are more, some of the reduxes are a lot more, okay, some of the recreations in Maker are a lot more elaborate than others. Like this one especially. I think I botched it. We're outside. No Dr. Light capsule above. Just proceed directly to Armadillo. I don't want to deal with you. Good night. Like, this pack isn't bad, but I don't know. It doesn't feel too special to me. It's more of a me thing because I've seen and played through a lot more elaborate packs, so this doesn't really stand out, I'm afraid. The last of 8 Mavericks is Storm Eagle. 136 plays and a score of 67. That is far more impressive. Sure, go ahead, Jaden. I've heard about the publishing. Once again, I'm hoping in the future that Maker adds a feature where you can actually set the limits of your health. Like how currently there is an object that can set your health to arbitrary levels. I want one that can arbitrarily set your max health. That way we can truly have hard tanks. What happened to X Plus? Bright fire. Fill me in the details. Fill the details in for me. Oh no! Green boundary. I love being able to dash even further. What happened? That doesn't really explain what happened to X Plus though. Just saying that their server is less active does not explain enough. Wow. It also allows you to make more elaborate Metroidvania levels. Like saying what's happened to Xbox being sad, and you need to be. You're not painting a complete enough picture. Unless it was a joke, in which case, good one. I think as weirdly balanced as oddly balanced as Super Samurai Roll 1 was, I think it's still better than Smelter. Smelter is cool, but I really feel like they really should have focused more heavily on the overworld strategy gameplay part of it, or the sim part of the gameplay. I don't know why I missed the key. I must have checked the wrong area. Charge shot. Bye. My two main problems with Smelter really revolve around how the sim part of the gameplay is underbaked, and the level design could be hit or miss. Some of the levels are pretty cool, but others, Underbaked. The final boss was pretty good, though. 69. Jay Butters is the most knowledgeable Enchanted Portal, so I'll let them speak about it. So that's all 8 Mavericks done. I think what happened was I accidentally jumped over where the final key would be, so I'll just skip over it and assume we did it. Anyways, Sigma Palace. Normally I just go back and do it manually, but it's just me. This pack isn't really doing it so much for me, so I'm kind of going through the motions. Oh, okay, you have the same amount of experience most do. I mean, the most amount of knowledge about the game over here. So I got So I got the wind-based weapon. So I got the Noise Crush. Although it's definitely not as good as a Storm Tornado. No siree. Oh gosh. We don't have wall kicking, so... Imagine doing this and we had vertical platforms instead. Hey Tyler. I'm afraid not. Tonight I'm just covering level packs. But you can submit a level for later. Oh, that drama? Yeah, not really interested in that. It always ends up being around the same few topics in regards to that. Perish, Power Muscler. Hi, Vile. Hi, Vile. Sure, you can submit one of them, but you'll have to get in line. Right now, there's a level pack ahead of it. Like, one level pack ahead of you is by Space 2, another one by Dave, Neko Dave, and another one by Tedley. Feel free to submit if you want, but it'll take some time for me to get to it. I may be able to cover it in a month, though. Okay. Now, dive missile. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tyler. It's just that if you're submitting individual levels, I can get to it fairly quickly. But if you're asking me to cover a level pack, there is a queue ahead of you, I'm afraid. Oh, I'm immune to this. Okay. That's Quanger. Okay, I'll make an exception for you, but let me finish this pack first. How's that sound? I'm gonna wait until the next World of the Client drops is added, then I'll get back to it. Okay, Bow Spider. That's one. Oh, tank, help? Healing tanks. Oh. It's a little bit awkward hit. As you can see, got it. Okay, on to 2. I didn't even need to use the travel boost, so that's already a good sign. I know, I'm leaving one back because I realized that, wait, I probably used more. No life pickups, so better be careful. Oh, pff, you jumped before I could react. Or jump sooner. Yes, thank you, RNG. You actually came true this time. And this time. Plan B. Storm Eagle. Why? Not the actual weakness, but I don't care. It's much better. Ah, you. Doesn't even crush the sides. Ooh. Lambda Bamda. What am I responding? What do you want me to respond to, Jaden? You said that you still think Freedom Planet 2 does what that game does combat-wise better than most things. I can't really answer that because I haven't played Freedom Planet 2. And Freedom Planet 2 and Decline's Drops have different subgenres and different inspirations, so I really need to play FP2 before I can make that comparison. I don't feel comfortable saying that one's better or the other until I've seen more footage or played that game. Sigma Palace 3. I mean, with this point, with how I have more weapons, it's become a lot easier. In some ways, this pack is easier than Mega Man X, in many ways, but it's also harder in a few ways. See, for example, the intro stage, or when base doesn't have access to a special weapon. Like, not having access to the charge shot slows down the pacing in a few ways. Who's next? Wow. Face first into that. What were you again? I guess Launch Octopus. Oh yeah, I like to cook surfer. See, I read those things. I didn't think you wanted me to respond to them because you didn't say it was a question. I thought that was self-evident enough. Again, I'm gonna wait to... And I already responded about Decline's drops to new levels, Jaden. Okay, I'm just gonna say it once more, and I'm not gonna repeat it. In reverse order. Decline's drops. I'm not gonna cover the new levels until the next world after is gonna be added. Bo's new content looks cool, but I need to play the game first before I can make a better assessment of everything. Windswept looks cool. I don't know if I'll be covering on the channel because it gets brutally hard later. If I decide to cover it, I'm only gonna go for just beating the game, not 100% completion. Like, that equivalent of Bramble Scramble and the Windswept demo just kicked my butt. Luxar Forever's art direction is nice, doesn't look at. And that's all I have to say. I'm not repeating any more of those things, please. Okay, quick question. How many games were featured during the Mexican Entertainment System's Game Jam? I repeat, how many games were submitted for the MES Game Jam? Go. Oh my goodness. D-Rex. Ow. Yeah, nah, I'm fine. Ow. Ow. Someone forgot that they're too high up. Like, before I can agree to covering a game jam, I need to make sure how many games are actually part of the game jam. I don't wanna sign up to something that has, for example, 100 or 200 games submitted, even if they're short ones. How long are each of those games? Alright, last but not least, Sigma Palace 4, 78 plays, score 34. Tyler, if your level's ready, please submit the level ID now, please. Good, thank you. Right after this level's done and I get my overall toss and level pack, I'll do yours. Thank you. Okay, my answer is no. I am not going to sample 250 games from a game jam. However, if you pick a few games, maybe. Climb. Yeah, this would honestly benefit the most from being forked into the X mod. Belgarder. Yeah, it is dead, I'm afraid. Now Sigma. Hang on a moment. Yes! Don't you love it when we can do stuff like this? Alright, final phase. I mean, even in the OG one, it did make it a lot easier, but this is even more funnier. Goodbye. I want to say this, the reason why I'm denying is because 250 titles is excessive, and considering how packed my level queue, my submission queue is, I simply cannot cover those, even if they're samplers. And if we have full games into the mix too, unless they have demos, I'm not just gonna purchase games I have little knowledge of. So if you wanna request that expo or game jam, you have to pick something like 5 or 10 games from there. No more, please. This channel does not really focus on Game Jam titles unless they really specifically have a connection to me. And they're small enough. Like with Freak Jam 1 and 2, they only consisted of a dozen games at most, a piece. And for the times where I did cover demos and other short titles from other game jams, I only sampled a minute part of those game jams. I'm sorry, Jaden, but your request is too much of an ask. It's one thing to ask for 1 or 2 games, it's another thing to ask for an entire game jam sampler. Good for conversation, but I will recommend to you in future have a bit more reasonable asks, because remember, I'm not just covering requests or suggestions by just you, but also from the many other people who are watching my streams, both live and not live. Ooh. That's interesting, Tyler. Alright then, now about this level pack based in 21XX. It was fine. Like most of the remake/redux levels taken from the X and applied or converted to Maker using its limitations and assets, I think they were done fairly well. Thing is though, I've seen this song and dance before and I've seen more elaborate level packs. That's why I didn't really comment on the levels that much other than reacting to some of the things. Like, because of some of the limitations, some levels ended up being harder than the OG ones, like the Ruined Street or Broken Highway. But I enjoyed this, it's just that I'm looking for something a bit more novel. If this revamped the X stages much more significantly, I'd have more good things to say about it, but right now it's just adequate in my eyes. Fun to play through, and I appreciate getting the armor pieces and the equivalent of heart tanks, but otherwise, it's good for someone who is an intermediate player. Thank you for sending it, Jenny. Alright, because I haven't played a level by TylerBot for quite a while, I'm gonna finish off the stream by doing this one. For conversation, I don't think that really raised that much of a conversation other than getting turned down. I'm with Jay Butters on this one. Now, if you want to discuss MES in general, or the most exciting parts of it, some of the more promising titles, sure, go right ahead. It's a great conversation starting point. But just a request though is not enough. It's not enough. Okay, let's do this. So for the extra level, I'm covering Switch Block Bunker by TylerBot. Freshly uploaded, and perhaps upvoted. I'll be honest, not necessarily brutally so. Okay? I'm gonna grab this just in case. My only weapon's gonna be the Blade Cracker, and it's gonna be limited. Whoa. You know what? Here we go. Okay, that's a bit of an elaborate setup. Do Proto Man and Mega Man get different routes? I'm curious about that. Oh my goodness. Gonna wait it. Oh no, they get the same one. Got it. Bouncy. Yeah, it wasn't worth to fight it. Oh, I see it, I see it. It got a bit camouflaged with the background, but that's also because I'm getting a bit tired. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gonna have to loop around the left side. And be quicker on that, actually. Ooh, that's a bit tight, but it's doable. Let me through. Thank you for the checkpoint and full refill. Okay, we're assuming that the players have seen this before. Okay, I like the progression. This is assuming you've seen these before, so it does ramp up faster, but I like it. It's making quite a bit of use of the mechanics. Help. Okay, now I expected to get stuck. Let's try it again. Oh, I don't die. That's... thanks, actually. This room, though, that's where things get a bit more iffy. Ah, if I was a little bit more further to the right, I could have done it. But let's do it the proper way this time. My leg got caught. I'm just trying to find ways to make it easier or cheese it, because I just find it fun. Of course it's not intended, I understand that. Oh, that's pretty generous checkpoint placement, all things considered. Don't have bombs, so I have to go up here. So far so good, pretty cool usages of the switches. Ah, when I get the weapon, then I escape through there. Go to sleep then, Jaden, you don't need to stay up this long. I see, Lepadio. Also, welcome to stream. Darn it. Okay, Burner Man. Oh gosh. Ah, cool. The one... Okay. As Mega Man, I get the Hyper Bomb. Let's get out of here. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I need to comment on this. Jaden, I think you're getting too hard on yourself. If you're that concerned of one person just disagreeing with your opinions, I think there are bigger problems here. At a certain point, you need to understand that not everyone likes everything. Ooh, sideways switches. Like, if you're so worried about one person just roasting you, honestly... Look, I like things that Buster dislikes. I don't just let them put me down like that. I just say, oh, okay, and move on. Anyways, bombs away. This is the thing I don't really understand. Why are you so afraid of Buster? If they don't like your takes, so be it. They can choose to frequent a different stream then. Weak to Blade Cracker? Yeah, I was gonna try that next. I wanted to see the pattern. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, Jaden. I think you're overestimating how much Buster roasts people for opinions that they disagree with. You've been taking it way harder than anyone else. Please. They don't mean to insult you or anything, it's just... Come on, we all do jabs to each other, and we need to understand we have our own different takes. I understand you want the game to be better, but you need to understand for a game to really be good, to be a stand, it should be able to take a punch. You need to understand that not everyone will agree with your... You need to understand that not everyone will agree with your opinions. That was my B completely. I gotta say, this is a fairly intricately designed stage using the blocks. The toggle blocks. But enough of my rant, it's just something I've been noticing growing over time. Whoa, okay. Oh my goodness, that could have been a disaster. Excuse me. That doesn't work. Okay. Oh no. Miraculously, no damage. Too low. I understand that, Jaden, but at a certain point, you need to open yourself up and understand that people can respectively disagree. I know that Buster can be rough, and yeah, he has crossed the line a few times, but you're over-exaggerating that. At a certain point, it turns into you can't really accept criticism, and in that case, I don't want to... You need to be willing to accept criticism. Like, if you're that concerned, I strongly suggest taking a break from the channel. Oh, golly. Oh, God. I'm saying this as a concerned human being. Almost there. Too soon. How's it so far? Fairly good, I'd say. Like, in comparison with the majority of the level pack, this actually has me actively engaged because it uses its main mechanics, those being the yokus and the switch blocks, fairly actively. Like, as much as the previous pack was enjoyable, this actually is forcing me to think in several ways, and with its intricate designs, it's quite fun. Like, if this was featured in the morning stream, this would easily be my favorite level. I need you to understand this, Jaden. Buster, although being rough, is not trying to make arguments in bad faith. And as a moderator, you need to understand that eventually you will encounter someone on the channel who will make arguments in bad faith. And you need to be prepared for that. Heck, and Buster's criticisms don't even tend to be that, especially when you get outside platformers, they don't tend to be that harsh or biting. And also you need to understand that you should never put all of your eggs in one basket. You shouldn't just look forward to 1 or 2 titles, you should look for at least a dozen or 2. Because we have I've learned this fact very well that not everything will be successful. Not everything can be successful. I understand why I'm looking really forward to a Magical Girl game, but it's just one game. It's not the end of the world. I'm sorry, Tyler, but I can't. I'm kinda running low on time. Well, this stage is already the coffee I want, or need. But that's just my 2 cents, Jaden. It's not even to say a pop-up and over time, and I'll just say this: be understanding to accept criticism, and be brave in posting your takes. As long as they're respectful, I'm fine. Oh, I see the problem. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm dead. I wasn't fast enough. Yeah, I understand what I was screwing up. I can do this now. Sorry, I'm getting a bit too tired, so I didn't notice the obvious thing of slow down and slide through. Yeah, never get too hyped on one thing. Spread out your interests. Especially with how easy it is to play games both from the current era and previous eras. Try branching out to more than one franchise, or one genre. It's not like the olden times where you were limited to playing 1 or 2 games per console era, or per console because they were too expensive. I did his tap jump. Like, it's not like the olden times where games were more difficult to purchase, and your selection was far more limited. Thanks to the internet and a lot more platforms, it's far easier to play titles that are both that range the gamut of AAA to indie. Not just like top tier indies, but even the micro indies, so to speak. It's great. You just have to be willing to explore and experiment. Like, when I growing up, buying games is a lot more challenging because you have to go to the store. Like, I started out as more of a console gamer, and let me tell you, when you wanted to buy things, you have to go to your local retailer and and your only options were the ones that were in stock on the shelves. You didn't have equivalents to Steam back then where you had a very large selection of things to check out. Oh no, I needed more time to see what was going on, so I didn't get it. But yeah, looking forward to Constance. What, I can kill you? I know I'm almost there, but the one criticism I have of the screen, although it is affected by me being exhausted a bit, I wish I had binoculars or some way to seek further down to see what's up ahead. That's why I keep dying, because I have to react to a new challenge and react the wrong way. Go, 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 go! Okay. What weapon is this for? It's not refilling. Of course, now you decide. I want to save the M-Tank for the boss fight. Okay, Pluto. But I'm sorry if I sounded a bit harsh here, Jaden. It's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. But anyways, thank you to everyone who has been attending the streams. It's really appreciated. Especially those who go to the extra effort of attending the evening ones. Like you, J Butters. Thank you. Yeah, I do read some of those discussions there on Fabraza's server. There are some cool titles that are expressed there. Okay, this already gets an upvote for me. This makes grand usage of its two main mechanics, the Yoko blocks and the switches. If anything, it could actually be explored even further, but you ended off in a good climactic part without it becoming overbearingly complex and /or difficult. The start was fairly straightforward. It accelerated pretty quickly with the difficulty, so I'm assuming this is more of a fortress style stage rather than traditional. But as we got on, we had fairly clever uses of all the mechanics. And the checkpoint density was on point, so even if we had instant death or really damaging mechanics, we didn't lose too much progress if we perished. And all the times I died in the last section were my fault, really, because I was too tired and wasn't paying enough attention to the sections. Maybe you can have a bit more elaborate combinations, but I see why you held off there. Perhaps for a part 2 or hard mode. All in all, this was a wonderful stage, and if this was featured during the morning section, this would be my favorite one. I'm afraid not, Tyler. I'm out of time now. But thanks for suggesting that. In any case, thanks for watching the stream, everyone. I shall see you all tomorrow morning for the demo sampler of Mega Man DOS Remake, as well as the beginning of the playthrough of Eventide Matter. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day or evening.